When it comes to iconic rock and roll figures, Motorhead's Lemmy is up there. To give you an idea of his influence, Metallica started out by covering his songs. With that in mind, Lemmy's coming to play Taranaki this Friday and Saturday night. Here's David Farrier.
At 61, I was a bit worried that the frontman of Motorhead might be getting a bit too old for rock and roll, but I was horribly wrong. Before the show, Lemmy invited me to his dressing room, Ralph magazine at the ready, where we talked about an infamous New Zealand gig many moons ago.
We played in Palmerston North.
Palmy, was that the show with
Yes, Tubden, yeah. The police chief came over, I had to ring him up and say, are you doing all right? Like, in the hospital, lying on his face, you know, like a mound of bandages on his arse.
But according to Lemmy, the usually sleepy town of Palmerston North had more tricks up its sleeve.
And that was where they slashed our tyres too, because we took 3 of their birds back to the hotel. So obviously the wronged boyfriends. Mind you, those guys are 45, 50 now, you know what I mean? They must remember it as their young, wild days. I don't think we do as much of it as we used to. Christ, we couldn't do as much of it as we used to. Because we used to do it all the time. It's just a brief interlude for the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But don't do that anymore. I mean, I'm 61, you know, who's kidding who? You know, you don't do that much of it anymore. You lose interest in it, I'm sorry to say. You have that blessing to come upon you yet? Yeah.
I probably won't do as well as you.
In fact, I definitely won't. Estimates have Lemmy sleeping with around 1,500 different partners in his lifetime. But for him, girls and music went hand in hand. From the moment he borrowed his mum's guitar, he found himself surrounded by the ladies. Lemmy was kicked out of his first successful band, Hawkwind, for doing too many drugs. He used that as an excuse to start Motorhead and wrote songs like Killed by Death and, of course, the 1980 surprise hit, Ace of Spades. His alcohol and drug intake rocketed during his Ace of Spades days, but he reckons that's mostly behind him.
Aced out a lot of them, you know. I don't smoke dope anymore, you know. I've never taken it down for years until the bloody flight to Australia. And that was only one volume. It's hardly like, you know, it's hardly a heroin addiction, is it, you know? But I never did heroin, that's the thing. That's the important one. Because of all the things I did and all the people I knew, I only ever saw people die on one drug, and that was heroin, and that killed everybody. Right, they did it, everybody.
That was one point that Lemmy kept making to me, a little bit like a concerned father. Don't do heroin.
It enters every cell in your body. So when you take it away, every cell in your body complains, you know. I've seen people have convulsions that could snap their back. Right, that's really a good recommendation, boys and girls, isn't it? You know, enjoy heroin.
He'd know, and it appears rocking around the world for the last 45 years has left Lemmy a touch cynical.
Still, human race has always been fairly awful.
Well, it's been a sort of big inspiration for a lot of your music, hey? So
yeah.
Rallying against
injustice, you know. Plenty of that. Never be short of material there.
No.
The day we get scraped off this planet will be a favour to the planet, you know. I mean, people say, save the planet. Arrogant bastard, you know. The planet's made out of volcanoes, it's going to be just fine. We're leaving. You know, that's the only thing we're destroying is the thing we breathe.
But before you're killed by death, don't forget to witness Motorhead, the band that's outlived many of its peers and shaped modern rock and roll. David Farrier, Melbourne, 3 News.